Out There Colorado. Report claims 33 hate and anti-government extremist groups operating in Colorado. The Southern Poverty Law Center has released their annual Year in Hate and Extremism report, identifying 1,371 hate and anti-government extremist groups around the country. The organization notes that these groups were identified as such due to political, communication, violent, and online tactics to build strategies and training infrastructure to divide the country, demoralize people, and dismantle democracy. In their most recent report, the group indicates that 33 groups were tracked in Colorado during 2024, 8 of which are statewide and 25 of which are local. This compares to 30 groups in the prior report for 2023, 31 groups in 2022, 18 groups in 2021, 17 groups in 2020. So since 2020, Colorado has made some big improvements. That's what I'm getting out of this.
What, by doubling up on the quote-unquote hate groups? Who made this list?
100%. Southern Poverty Law Center.
I don't know who they are, but I don't like them. So is Antifa on there? Black Lives Matters? What's on there? What does it just say? Political groups and stuff?
Oh, no. It's
say Christians on there somewhere? It's like,
no,
hey,
here you
church,
go.
You're part of a hate group.
The Colorado Alliance for Immigration Reform, Anti-Immigration, Family Policy Alliance, Anti-LGBTQ, Focus on the Family, Family Research Institute. This one's my favorite, Gays Against Groomers. They're on the list because they're anti-LGBTQ.
Aren't they part of the same?
They're all gay.
They're the G part, right? For the most part.
Correct.
Right? I think
Correct.
There's a lot of letters in that.
But it's a hate group because it's quote-unquote
because
anti-LGBTQ.
They don't want small children preyed upon or groomed up. Or
yeah,
a bunch of sick stuff happening to innocents, so they're a hate group. So that already makes me question this. How many pedophile groups are on their little hate group? Anything?
Oh, no,
anything with
none
pedophiles, rapists, sex traffickers, any of the bad actual evils? No?
No.
Oh.
But here's the Constitution Party, which is like a legit political party in the state of Colorado. They're on the list.
The political party that likes the Constitution to be honored.
Yeah, because they're anti-government.
How is that anti-government? So it's kind of always neat. Like, this comes from people that are like, oh, democracy. And it's like, it's a republic. That's why you're a representative. It's a constitutional democratic republic with some other things added to it. It is quite the hybrid system, but against democracy.
I'm just a little upset that Spiritual Insurgency didn't end up on this list. I might have to send them an email and be like, hey, guys, you missed one.
33. There's 34. They're chuckleheads.
But Moms for Liberty, the group that just wants their kids to not have porn in schools, that's on the list.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, because, that's totally
That's
hate.
bad. Oh, I want my kids to be kids. Okay, yeah, no, sounds like terrible parents. You know what I heard? I heard that's BS. I didn't curse on the thing, so I'm good for you.
So it gets more fun because here's one. The Northern Kingdom Prophets, they're on the list for general hate, which I feel like general hate is just like you hate everybody.
General hate. It sounds like they're very equal opportunity if it's general hate then.
That's what I was saying.
Why would they be on it?
Very broad.
Then there's Colorado Mountain Boys. They're on it because they're a militia. They're in El Paso County. I don't know who these Colorado Mountain Boys are, but I kind of want to meet them.
Never heard of them.
But, then there's a Patriot Front because they're white nationalists statewide. I know nothing about them.
I don't know anything. I've never even heard of most of this stuff. It's so prevalent that most of us haven't heard about it. That's awesome.
I mean, I just want to know why Antifa, Black Lives Matters, all of these other groups. Like, how about the pro-Palestinian people? Like, why aren't they on the list?
I don't
know.
I mean, they most of them are like hating Israel. It just boggles my mind that here we are. We have this list that comes out, and all it is conservatives. It's just bashing conservatives.
And it said at the beginning, right? It said political reasonings. That's why, too. Is that what it said?
Well, so here you go. Here's a little bit of an additional editorial opens with the following: for all its claims to profile hate and anti-government extremist outfits, the Southern Poverty Law Center has become nothing more than a hate group itself. Once it targeted true scum like the Ku Klux Klan, now it lists 1,225 threats, some of which are extreme because they stand for conservative causes, or in one case, a group of moms who just happens to care about their kids. Like, this is...
Did they put the Triple K on this list at least?
I don't believe so. I mean,
but the Triple K is not even on the list, but they're like, oh, moms that don't want their kids to see porn at school, or it was like on the list. Okay.
Well, yeah, so this is the opinion piece from New York Post. The Southern Poverty Law Center should include itself on its hate list.
Nice. That would have been neat.
It's a Florida-based moms group. is per SPLC at the forefront of groups targeting any inclusive curriculum that contains discussions of race, discrimination, and LGBTQ identities. These groups, brace yourself, wear shirts, and carry signs that we do not co-parent with the government. Jeff, what you got?
This is all crazy. I can't believe this stuff. This is the first I've seen of this list.
I mean, you have kids, Jeff. Are you afraid for your kids to be raised in this environment that we presently live in this country and in this state?
Absolutely. So my oldest, he's about a year away from entering school, and we are really considering not putting him in public schools.
Well, if you need some homeschool help, we have plenty of people in our community that can help you with homeschooling.
And my wife is currently working on homeschooling our oldest. So
Yeah. What you got, Jim?
This is dumb and some flavorish of convenience and nonsensical crap of some idiots seeking relevance with their non-founded garbage group of trash putting some legal title in the name of their trash. So I think it's stupid. I mean, they don't even put the triple K on there, so their list has no validity to me. I mean, this is ridiculous. I don't even see the point of this. Somebody got paid and spent time doing this. I got to find one of these professions. If you have a pointless position out there that just makes pointless garbage and want to hire me to do it, please let me know. Contact Jason Lupo to contact me, Jim Miller, to have me make some garbage list that has no validity to it, and I'll ship it out with your name on it.
Yeah, this coming off the back of several parent groups currently suing over the dead naming bill that just passed through the Colorado legislature, just signed into law by Jared Polis, that would make it illegal for you to use the wrong name of an individual that has chosen to go by a different identity. Sounds like they just have an identity crisis. I wonder what Jason Bourne would do.
I don't know. Would you call him Jason Unborn? Jason not born yet? Jason to be born? Jason about to be born?
So, Colorado parent groups sue state over controversial new transgender law enforcing compelled speech. Defending education claims the new law violates parents' rights to criticize gender ideology. This from Lindsay Cornick at Fox News. Colorado potentially faces a major lawsuit regarding a new law on transgender protections and how it can violate free speech and parental rights. On Friday, Governor Jared Polis signed into law the Kelly Loving Act, a bill that expands state anti-discrimination protections for transgender individuals by allowing a person's chosen name to qualify as a form of gender expression that is protected under the Colorado Anti-Discrimination Act. Now that the bill has passed, the group Defending Education has sued the state on behalf of the Do No Harm, the Colorado Parent Advocacy Network, and Protect Kids Colorado groups out of concerns that the law could violate their free speech rights. I mean, Colorado has made this decision that they are going to attempt to call everything a public entity, and therefore you cannot discriminate anywhere in the state or any business because there's no such thing as a private business in the state of Colorado.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to solve all this. I identify as the governor now. This bill is stupid. It's gone. I vetoed it. Problem solved. I'm just going to play their own game with their own crap now. I wonder what Governor Polis sausage calls his kids. Does he call them boys and girls? Does he give them their name? I've heard him on things doing it. I'm wondering if we shouldn't get in contact with Child Protective Services on his thing, because I'm sure he's misgendered or mistitled his kids at least twice on film, or does he just liquidly change it all the time?
Are his kids like transgender or something?
I don't know. They might be. I have no idea. He adopted them with the
Caspian Julius.
Who?
Is one of them, Caspian Julius, and the other one is Cora Polis.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
So how did they get the Julius part? They just left the other name?
I don't know. Are they, like I said, are they transgender? I don't know.
You know what? I don't like bringing kids into things though either. So I'm gonna drop this whole thing of even talking about his kids, because he might be a dirtbag, but I think a lot of kids are innocent. Don't need to be involved with this stuff. But I hope he's at least following his own goofy rules he keeps making with all this stuff, because I'm sure he doesn't. I mean, he is one of the richest governors in the country, one of the richest politicians in this country, if I do recall correctly.
Another Californian.
Yeah. Not all of them are bad, but I don't know. This guy's just a ding-dong, and I think I'm sick and over and tired of him. I'm glad he's termed out now at this point. But don't worry, he'll be with Senator Dick and Pooper soon enough, and they'll be high-fiving each other. And
Well, the problem is he's going to run for president. I think he's made it quite clear that that's his next move. I think he's going to be, potentially the next Democrat presidential nominee, which makes a whole lot more sense than cackling Kamala Harris.
He made Colorado the worst place, one of the worst places to do business at. Biggest gun restricted Second Amendment type places ever in the country. And he thinks he's going to win the rest of the country over with that? No, we're good, dude. Don't vote for Governor Polis sausage. He is a terrible human being and should at least get slapped twice a day by some random person just walking by.
Well, he'll probably do just as well as Hickenlooper when he ran.
Oh, I forgot about that. Dick and Pooper did run, huh?
So an interesting thing about that bill that you were talking about, Jason. So I read about a week ago that the state, I guess they surveyed only 500 transgenders to get their opinion on what they should do with this bill.
Look, the government's rule is not supposed to be anything else.
I didn't know that we had 500 transgender individuals in the state of Colorado.
Got that many, we can start our own transgender sports league.
Yeah, they took a survey of 500, only 500, to come up with this.
So, here's an article. KRDO reports from top 5 to 406, Colorado Springs takes shocking nosedive in best places to live rankings. It's a dramatic fall that has residents and city officials asking what happened. I can tell you what happened. It's not that hard. Colorado Springs ranked number 3 in the nation just last year by U.S. News and World Report for best places to live, has plummeted to 406 in the latest release. The rankings, which consider factors like affordability, desirability, and quality of life, are used nationwide as a snapshot of where people want to live and why. The list compares more than 850 cities across America. Of note, however, last year it only compared 150. So why the drop? Colorado Springs was in the top 16% for crime, which is not really a designation that you want to see when looking for a place to live, said Erica Giovanni, consumer leading analyst with U.S. News World Report. According to Giovanni, both violent and property crime rates are significantly higher here compared to the other mid-sized cities. A lot of those cities are about the same size or smaller than Colorado Springs, and in fact, a lot of them are smaller. But it's not just crime. Colorado Springs finds itself in a unique and somewhat difficult position. She says we're classified as a mid-sized city, but coming with a big city price tag without the consistent support of a major metro job market. The job market doesn't always support that, unfortunately. I mean, it is becoming increasingly more difficult to afford to live in this city and in this state as a whole.
Yeah, no, we know that I pulled family members' houses out of foreclosure because they just can't afford stuff. All I do is work. This place is miserable now. It's not fun. I'm not enjoying anything out here. We're 2 to 3% cheaper than California. Medical insurance is more expensive out here. Car insurance is more expensive out here. Homeowners or renters insurance is more expensive out here than living in LA. This is a state that's only got, as a state, 6 million people? 6 million people, less of a population than LA, and all those things cost more than LA. Why? And then you go look at it and you're like, oh, cool, Colorado Springs. More sex offenders than homeless people. Wow, that's super cool. I can't wait for my kids to walk to school and not have to be worrying about that. They care more about parking meters and crap downtown here and making sure you get a ticket for parking meters or registrations than fighting any real crime. It's stupid. Get rid of the meter maids. Get some beat cops. Oh, well, I won't work. It's too big now. They do it in New York. It's a big populated place. They do it in Chicago, if I remember correctly, too. And Detroit. You know what? This place is just dumb. And if you do stop a crime, mind you this, if you stop a thief or anybody with a thing, you have about an 87% chance of getting charges put on you for doing the right thing, because it's always the wrong time to do the right thing and be a good participant in your community going, hey, that person's stealing at the store that I have to shop at and pay my accounts or whatever it is, or get my kids a damn toy for their birthday. And you stop them, you have an 87% chance that you'll get charges on you, so it just keeps the problem just this big old loop of garbage going on. And don't do the right thing. Be tolerant. Don't worry when the sex offenders live next to your house, because, that's a protected group. Way more than a child is in town.
Well, and it's not hard to make some polls from this data here, because if you look at the first 40, most of them are in Texas. Almost all of them are in a red state. At least the top 10 are almost all in red states. And there's no California on this list and no Colorado on this list, which is way different than what we would have seen a couple of years ago. I mean, it's clear as day that with the wokeism that is coming from the left in places like Colorado and California and Oregon and Washington, that it is completely ruining the people's lives that live there, and nobody wants to move there. I mean, high immigration, high crime. It's an issue that just keeps growing.
Yeah, no, it hasn't stopped. I mean, look at utility prices here. They go, oh, it's the lowest rate. I'm like, yeah, but you get $100-$200 every month in access fees too. So yeah, cool. Thanks for the rate. But you know what? It's not Netflix. I didn't subscribe to this. It's supposed to be in this municipality to make it cheaper, right? Not, oh, it's a municipality, so we just do whatever we want. Annexations of everything. It's just dumb, dude. It's just a developer's pile of garbage. This is a high desert shithole, for lack of a better term. That used to be the Springs. And they just ruined it because they're like, oh, look, here's some garbage over here that they do. We're going to do it too because you know what? That's awesome. But then you really look at like the Springs itself. So who do we really blame for the crime? Is it the chief of police? Is it the mayor? Are they being tough enough on actual crime? Or are they worried about people like me that work on cars at their house and in their garage? Are they worried about an old guy scrapping appliances to supplement a retirement? What are they really doing with anything? There's trap houses, drug houses, people selling drugs to little kids. It's like that thing out here, right? They want the weed 1,000 feet from the schools, but not the sex offenders, but they care about the children in an era of safe spaces and mental health. Get out of here with this trash. Dude, it's all just like little key talking points and everything else. It's the same old stuff with a different face and a bunch of fake lying, cheating, thieving politicians that are doing it for a career that don't have any good interest or anything, and they just want to have some kind of popularity and look neat and say something trendy that sounds neat, going, I appeased a bunch of fakeness. They don't care about your freedoms, your rights, your liberties, or your safeties, but they sure want to charge you for them all the time when they give you none.